Calling a narcissistic person out never goes the way that we hope. We hope that they might just recognise the error of their ways and learn and change and grow. However, more often than not, we're the one that ends up walking away feeling responsible for things we didn't even do. So just how does a narcissistic person react when you call them out? They react badly, very badly. To begin with, they might start playing the victim. They might just turn around and say, how can you, of all people, think that about me? So then you find yourself trying to make them feel better rather than them explaining why they did what they have done to you. They might start playing nice and say, oh, I didn't think you'd be that concerned about that. Why don't we look into booking that holiday? Why don't we look into doing this, that future faking with you so that they can get their needs met by you? They might just try to confuse you by claiming that you're the person who has misunderstood the information, misunderstood the event. It wasn't like that. Let me explain. Only they gaslight you into doubting and blaming and questioning yourself so that they can continue to get away with their behaviour. They could potentially just deny all knowledge and start gaslighting you by claiming that that never happened, they never said that, you're the one that's imagining things, it's your overreactive imagination. They could potentially accuse your reactions of being the problem and just say, I think you need to calm down a bit. Don't you think you're overreacting to this? They're sort of giving you that leading question. With a narcissistic person, they lead you into answering how they want you to answer. So they go, don't you think you're overreacting? So am I overreacting? I didn't think I was overreacting. You think I'm overreacting. Yes, I do think you're overreacting. And then you go and work on yourself while they continue to exploit you. They can potentially just start talking over you. However, they will start talking over you, and whenever you try to bring it back to the original topic of conversation, they'll accuse you of trying to talk over them. They might start interrupting you. So every time you try to get your point of view across, they interrupt you. This is very irritating and highly frustrating. And they're looking to chip away at you to provoke that reaction from you so that they, in their mind, can turn it round in their reality that you're the abusive one and you caused all the issues. So it's very frustrating when someone continues to interrupt you. However, if you then interrupt them, trying to get it back on track because they interrupted you, they turn around and say, you always have to interrupt me. There's no talking to you when you always have to interrupt me. And you can stand there almost dumbfounded because you can think, but that's exactly what you're doing to me. And it just winds you up. They literally just wind you up. And the more they wind you up, you'll notice the more smug they are. The more happy they are, the more pleased they are because they believe they're getting one over on you. They might change the subject, and every time you bring it back to the original topic, they'll accuse you of trying to start an argument. Do we have to talk about this now? We were having such a good day. So they'll accuse you of ruining things. Why did you have to bring this up? We were having such a good time and you have to go and spoil everything, don't you? So you feel bad. They turn around and say, why can't you just let things go? Isn't it time you got over this? And you can't let things go because nothing gets resolved with them. They just keep repeating their past hurtful, toxic behaviour in the future, and they're highly secretive and deceptive. So then you find out about something else and they're living that many different lives and telling that many different lies that new information keeps coming up, and you just get hit from one person to another about things that's going off that you know nothing about. It's a very confusing place to be. And when you are that confused and they're doing their utmost to irritate you and frustrate you, they're going to go all out to chip away at you, to provoke you, to gain that reaction from you so they can blame and shame you for your perfectly normal reactions. to their actions. A narcissist wants to convince you that your emotional reactions to their actions are the problem, when without their actions you would not be having those emotional reactions. And as we come from a place of irritability and frustration and confusion and fear, we can react badly. And as we take responsibility for our behaviour, we can then believe that we're the one that's being the abusive one because we're acting in abusive ways. We're shouting at them. We're verbally attacking back at them. We're throwing things at them as they stand back all calm and say, you need to calm down. What's wrong with you? Are you having a bad day? So you question yourself and not the original topic of conversation. So if they provoke you to raging out at them, that's all your fault. However, if you don't take the bait and you keep persisting upon the same topic of conversation to get the answer, a narcissist, when their games aren't working, they become irritated by you. They get frustrated by you because they're not getting what they need. And they might rage out at you, to which a narcissist with their double standards will not take responsibility. They'll just turn around and say, look what you made me do. So they blame you for everything they do wrong. They might then damage property because they're frustrated. We can all get frustrated. So we might throw something and damage things, but then we feel bad. With a narcissist, they will damage property and turn around and say, again, look what you made me do, or well, at least I didn't hit you. Like, you're supposed to go, yay, thank you so much. You're supposed to be grateful that they damaged the property and didn't attack you physically. If that doesn't work and you continue to persist on the line of questioning something they don't want to be called out about, they might get physically violent towards you. They lack the empathy to care. You don't want to call out a narcissist because it does put you in danger. They're not going to turn around and say, yep, you're right, you called me. I should change, shouldn't I really? Unless they've got no option, and they'll promise to change to lull you back in. And then once they've got you where they want you, they treat you worse for making them promise to change. So that rarely too never happens. However, they will promise change. They will promise counselling if needed. Before that step, they might get physically violent with you. And they will find a way to blame you. You know what I'm like. You pushed me to it. You drove me to it. You wouldn't drop it. You don't know when to leave me alone. And once they've got physically violent, they might fall silent on you. They might fail to communicate with you. They might ghost you. They might find a new source of supply. And once they've fallen silent on you, some might leave you alone. Others, when they see you doing well, they'll come back with those false promises of change. I'm sorry, I've changed. I'm sorry, I'll change. I've seen the light. I've seen the error in my ways. I promise I'll not do it again. Let's go on that holiday. Let's get married. Let's have that baby. Let's whatever you'd originally agreed to do together. Suddenly they'll want to do it with you again under the false pretense of change, and that you're the only one for them and that you're the one that can help them. So you feel compelled into helping them, only for the cycle to repeat itself again, because it is a pattern of behaviour that you have to recognise, and it's who they are. It's nothing you did to them. It's who they are as a person. They feel entitled to exploit people. They feel entitled to deceive people. They feel entitled to lie to people, and they don't want to be shamed for their behaviour, so they're going to go all out to get away with their behaviour because they don't want to face the consequences. They don't want to take responsibility. They feel entitled to do as they please, and if you perceive that to be wrong in some way, that's your fault. They're just looking to twist the story to get away with it. If anyone has any thoughts on this video or any behaviours you notice when you've called a narcissistic person out, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's much appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. If you're looking for ways to deal with narcissistic people that you are unable to go no contact with, I do have a new book out, which is 15 Rules to Deal with Narcissistic People, which is out now on Amazon, and I shall also link that into the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.